Tien is going to be playing Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina knocking out Mensik, by the way. That is a very impressive win for the Spaniard. The Spaniard, of course, has never won a main tour title. If he was to win in the desert, boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a title that would be to get off, to get your maiden title. I know one person amongst the Talking Tennis community who would very much like that. I'm including Jane as part of the Talking Tennis community, by the way. And by the way, I'm including you as part of the Talking Tennis community, Ghost, even though we have different opinions on the Laver Cup. It's okay. It's allowed. Tien, by the way, very good win for him, coming from a set down in the clash of the all-lefties against Ben Shelton. It's a match I didn't see, so I'd love to know your thoughts on the Shelton-Tien match, either in the live comments or in the comments below if you're watching this retrospectively. And, yeah, Davidovich Fokina also having to come through in 3 sets over Jakub Mensik. Should we have a look at the head-to-head between these two? Because actually, I don't know off the top of my head how Davidovich Fokina and Tien match up. I will share that with you on the screen right now. Okay, they've played once before, and it went the way of Davidovich Fokina. Okay, where was that clash? Last year in Washington, a tournament that, of course, saw Davidovich Fokina reach the final. I actually thought that Lerner's North American swing last year was a bit disappointing and ending in that very comfortable win that Djokovic had over him on Arthur Ashe. I heard Djokovic talk about this recently. It was very interesting what Djokovic said about that match against Lerner in New York last year, because I actually had the same feeling that Lerner just maybe wasn't quite ready for the occasion. That was my interpretation, and Djokovic said it in a roundabout way as well, that maybe he was a bit fortunate in how comfortable that win was for Novak, just because of Lerner and being new to that environment. Davidovich Fokina, of course, is the more experienced of the two, the higher ranked of the two as well. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, in terms of his pedigree in the desert, well, last year, Davidovich Fokina went out in the round of 128. So his first match against Mackenzie McDonald, that was a 3-set loss for him. In 2024, he also lost in his first match. That was against Artur Fils, though, so it was a tough opening match. But yeah, basically, he hadn't won a match at Indian Wells, Davidovich Fokina, since 2023, when he made the quarters before losing to Medvedev in straight sets. So he went 3 years without winning a match, but he has won matches this year over Svider in the round of 64, straight sets, and then coming up against Mensik. Mensik very much in form, making a nice semi-finals at the ATP 500 recently, where he beat Yannick Sinner in that run. And he also had a good run in Australia before he had to withdraw from the 4th round clash with Novak Djokovic through injury. But maybe Mensik will play a bit better in Miami. As for this clash with Tien, I see Lerner avenging that Washington loss last year. And therefore, I'm going to go for Lerner in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Tien is going to be playing Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina knocking out Mensik, by the way. That is a very impressive win for the Spaniard. The Spaniard, of course, has never won a main tour title. If he was to win in the desert, boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a title that would be to get off, to get your maiden title. I know one person amongst the Talking Tennis community who would very much like that. I'm including Jane as part of the Talking Tennis community, by the way. And by the way, I'm including you as part of the Talking Tennis community, Ghost, even though we have different opinions on the Laver Cup. It's okay. It's allowed. Tien, by the way, very good win for him, coming from a set down in the clash of the all-lefties against Ben Shelton. It's a match I didn't see, so I'd love to know your thoughts on the Shelton-Tien match, either in the live comments or in the comments below if you're watching this retrospectively. And yeah, Davidovich Fokina also having to come through in 3 sets over Jakub Mensik. Should we have a look at the head-to-head between these two? Because actually, I don't know off the top of my head how Davidovich Fokina and Lerner Tien match up. I will share that with you on the screen right now. Okay, they've played once before, and it went the way of Davidovich Fokina. Okay, where was that clash? Last year in Washington, a tournament that, of course, saw Davidovich Fokina reach the final. I actually thought that Lerner's North American swing last year was a bit disappointing and ending in that very comfortable win that Djokovic had over him on Arthur Ashe. I heard Djokovic talk about this recently. It was very interesting what Djokovic said about that match against Lerner in New York last year, because I actually had the same feeling that Lerner just maybe wasn't quite ready for the occasion. That was my interpretation, and Djokovic said it in a roundabout way as well, that maybe he was a bit fortunate in how comfortable that win was for Novak, just because of Lerner and being new to that environment. Davidovich Fokina, of course, is the more experienced of the two, the higher ranked of the two as well. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, in terms of his pedigree in the desert, well, last year, Davidovich Fokina went out in the round of 128. So his first match against Mackenzie McDonald, that was a 3-set loss for him. In 2024, he also lost in his first match. That was against Artur Fils, though, so it was a tough opening match. But yeah, basically, he hadn't won a match at Indian Wells, Davidovich Fokina, since 2023, when he made the quarters before losing to Medvedev in straight sets. So he went 3 years without winning a match, but he has won matches this year over Svider in the round of 64, straight sets, and then coming up against Mensik. Mensik very much in form, making a nice semi-finals at the ATP 500 recently, where he beat Yannick Sinner in that run. And he also had a good run in Australia before he had to withdraw from the fourth round clash with Novak Djokovic through injury. But maybe Mensik will play a bit better in Miami. As for this clash with Lerner Tien, I see Lerner avenging that Washington loss last year. And therefore, I'm going to go for Lerner in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Lerner Tien is going to be playing Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina knocking out Mensik, by the way. That is a very impressive win for the Spaniard. The Spaniard, of course, has never won a main tour title. If he was to win in the desert, boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a title that would be to get off, to get your maiden title. I know one person amongst the Talking Tennis community who would very much like that. I'm including Jane as part of the Talking Tennis community, by the way. And by the way, I'm including you as part of the Talking Tennis community, Ghost, even though we have different opinions on the Laver Cup. It's okay. It's allowed. Lerner Tien, by the way, very good win for him, coming from a set down in the clash of the all-lefties against Ben Shelton. It's a match I didn't see, so I'd love to know your thoughts on the Shelton-Tien match, either in the live comments or in the comments below if you're watching this retrospectively. And yeah, Davidovich Fokina also having to come through in 3 sets over Jakub Mensik. Shall we have a look at the head-to-head between these two? Because actually, I don't know off the top of my head how Davidovich Fokina and Lerner Tien match up. I will share that with you on the screen right now. Okay, they've played once before, and it went the way of Davidovich Fokina. Okay, where was that clash? Last year in Washington, a tournament that, of course, saw Davidovich Fokina reach the final. I actually thought that Lerner's North American swing last year was a bit disappointing and ending in that very comfortable win that Djokovic had over him on Arthur Ashe. I heard Djokovic talk about this recently. It was very interesting what Djokovic said about that match against Lerner in New York last year, because I actually had the same feeling that Lerner just maybe wasn't quite ready for the occasion. That was my interpretation, and Djokovic said it in a roundabout way as well, that maybe he was a bit fortunate in how comfortable that win was for Novak, just because of Lerner and being new to that environment. Davidovich Fokina, of course, is the more experienced of the two, the higher ranked of the two as well. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, in terms of his pedigree in the desert, well, last year, Davidovich Fokina went out in the round of 128. So his first match against Mackenzie McDonald, that was a 3-set loss for him. In 2024, he also lost in his first match. That was against Artifice, though, so it was a tough opening match. But yeah, basically, he hadn't won a match at Indian Wells, Davidovich Fokina, since 2023, when he made the quarters before losing to Medvedev in straight sets. So he went 3 years without winning a match, but he has won matches this year over Svida in the round of 64, straight sets, and then coming up against Mensik. Mensik very much in form, making a nice semi-finals at the ATP 500 recently, where he beat Yannick Sinner in that run. And he also had a good run in Australia before he had to withdraw from the fourth-round clash with Novak Djokovic through injury. But maybe Mensik will play a bit better in Miami. As for this clash with Lerner Tien, I see Lerner avenging that Washington loss last year. And therefore, I'm going to go for Lerner in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Lerner Tien is going to be playing Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina knocking out Mensik, by the way. That is a very impressive win for the Spaniard. The Spaniard, of course, has never won a main tour title. If he was to win in the desert, boy, oh boy, oh boy, what a title that would be to get off, to get your maiden title. I know one person amongst the Talking Tennis community who would very much like that. I'm including Jane as part of the Talking Tennis community, by the way. And by the way, I'm including you as part of the Talking Tennis community, Ghost, even though we have different opinions on the Laver Cup. It's okay. It's allowed. Lerner Tien, by the way, very good win for him, coming from a set down in the clash of the all-lefties against Ben Shelton. It's a match I didn't see, so I'd love to know your thoughts on the Shelton-Tien match, either in the live comments or in the comments below if you're watching this retrospectively. And yeah, Davidovich Fokina also having to come through in 3 sets over Jakub Mensik. Shall we have a look at the head-to-head between these two? Because actually, I don't know off the top of my head how Davidovich Fokina and Lerner Tien match up. I will share that with you on the screen right now. Okay, they've played once before, and it went the way of Davidovich Fokina. Okay, where was that clash? Last year in Washington, a tournament that, of course, saw Davidovich Fokina reach the final. I actually thought that Lerner's North American swing last year was a bit disappointing and ending in that very comfortable win that Djokovic had over him on Arthur Ashe. I heard Djokovic talk about this recently. It was very interesting what Djokovic said about that match against Lerner in New York last year, because I actually had the same feeling that Lerner just maybe wasn't quite ready for the occasion. That was my interpretation, and Djokovic said it in a roundabout way as well, that maybe he was a bit fortunate in how comfortable that win was for Novak, just because of Lerner and being new to that environment. Davidovich Fokina, of course, is the more experienced of the two, the higher ranked of the two as well. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, in terms of his pedigree in the desert, well, last year, Davidovich Fokina went out in the round of 128. So his first match against Mackenzie McDonald, that was a 3-set loss for him. In 2024, he also lost in his first match. That was against Artifice, though, so it was a tough opening match. But yeah, basically, he hadn't won a match at Indian Wells, Davidovich Fokina, since 2023, when he made the quarters before losing to Medvedev in straight sets. So he went 3 years without winning a match, but he has won matches this year over Svida in the round of 64, straight sets, and then coming up against Mensik. Mensik very much in form, making a nice semi-finals at the ATP 500 recently, where he beat Yannick Sinner in that run. And he also had a good run in Australia before he had to withdraw from the fourth-round clash with Novak Djokovic through injury. But maybe Mensik will play a bit better in Miami. As for this clash with Lerner Tien, I see Lerner avenging that Washington loss last year, and therefore I'm going to go for Lerner in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. And welcome to those of you watching Lerner Tien against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Do get voting in our poll as to who you think is going to win this encounter. Yeah, that was a big hold, wasn't it, from Paolini? For 2-1. As for Lerner Tien, he has held serve 1-love against Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina, the slightly higher ranked player going into this tournament. And remember, Alejandro is yet to win a main tour title. Lerner won a title last year in... Where was it? Where was Lerner's title last year when he beat Cam Norrie in that crazy tiebreak? Somewhere indoors in Europe, but I can't remember where. Just looking at a website here called Tennis Temple. I still don't know where it was. Metz in France. It was the same day that Djokovic beat Musetti, wasn't it? But yeah, Davidovich Fokina was also involved in a crazy final in Washington, wasn't he? When he had a match point against Alex de Minaur. Okay. Gibson here, 2-1, 15-love on her serve. So she is, as you can tell from the scoreline, got a break of serve. Okay, Gibson here, 15 up, but she's missed that forehand. That's been the shot that's let her down today, hasn't it? The Gibson forehand. I guess, I don't know, actually. Does she even have a sponsor? Just bearing in mind that she's got this outfit from one brand, which I have no idea which this brand is. Somebody in the live chat can let me know. And I see she's wearing Nike shoes. Let's put this brand on the tennis map. Yeah, Gibson has done a great job for it by getting to the round of 16 at the very least in Indian Wells. But if you get a sponsorship with Talking Tennis, we'll really land you on that tennis map. What a forehand winner that is from Gibson. 30-15. Thanks, Ghosty. As for Davidovich Fokina and Lerner Tien, they're in the early stages of their match. Davidovich Fokina serving. Love 1, 30-15. This has got a 3-set epic written all over it, but I could be wrong. I thought Lerner and Medvedev would have an epic in Australia. I still thought Lerner would win, but in the end, he won it comfortably, didn't he, in straight sets. Good serve +1 winner there for Gibson, 40-15. And Gibson holds. Hopefully, dokely. So, Paulini here, 1-3, love 15. Sara Arari trying to G her charge up. If you're wondering why I keep disappearing from the camera, it's because I'm still sort of just about putting the last finishing touches to my dinner. We have a game point for Davidovich Fokina. This first service game has been pretty lengthy. I'm expecting this match to be lengthy. Danger, says Jellia. Oi, 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 says Ghosty. Zach here, I'm guessing, is also an Aussie. I'm guessing Zach. Zach, if you haven't already hit subscribe, please do subscribe to our channel. Love 30 here on the Paulini serve. Good forehand return from Gibson. Love 40. Love 40, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me someone in the live chat, who predicted a Gibson win? Who predicted a Gibson win? John predicted a Gibson win. And I'm calling myself in the third person if it wasn't annoying enough, me boasting about my prediction for a match that's, by the way, nowhere near yet done, just to make things worse and to make me seem even more pathetic. I'm calling myself in the third person. Okay. Backhand return here is really good from Gibson. Backhand into the forehand of Paulini. It's a good forehand, though, from Jasmine. Gibson defending, but that's going to land in from Gibson, but wonderful forehand winner there from Paulini, 15-40. Meanwhile, Davidovich Fokina holds. Are you a Learner Tien fan, Jane? I know Ghosty is. What a backhand return! Gibson, take a bow, 4-1. 4-1, ladies and gentlemen, double break. Very good. Oh, okay, Jane, you're not a Tien fan. I knew you were a Davidovich Fokina fan. By the way, Jane, did you find the Davidovich Fokina playlist? I made it for you. I mean, anyone else who wishes to, maybe the family of Davidovich Fokina want to tune in and watch it. But there's probably a few previews on there where I'm not predicting Alejandro to win. A lot of Alejandros, by the way, but maybe this is more in other parts of Europe, are abbreviated to Alex. But I don't know if that works with Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. By the way, in terms of his background, has he got maybe I don't want to say the wrong nationality here, but I think he's got a bit more than just Spanish. He might even have been born outside of Spain. No, I think he was born in Spain, but I just want to find out. I think he's got a parent from another country. Yeah, I thought Russia, although actually it's Swedish-Russian father. Edward Mark Davidovich. And a Russian mother. Okay, Tatiana Fokina. Yeah, it was Russia that I thought. His father is a former boxer. Yeah. So there you go. I've just got to quickly go to my kitchen, which is just a couple of meters away to tend to my food. Davidovich Fokina 1-2. Change of end still on serve against Tien. Okay. The sun has well and truly come out in this Gibson-Paolini match. Davidovich Fokina and Tien on a change of ends, by the way. 1-2. Davidovich will be serving. Davidovich Fokina will be serving at 1-2 when they return to the court. Gibson is serving 4-1, 30 love. Oh, what about that backhand from Talia Gibson? Deary me. I mean, she had to get it out from her body there, but she managed to produce an exquisite winner. Gibson now 3 game points for 5-1. Has my Davidovich Fokina learned Tien scoreboard frozen, by the way? Gibson has held for 5-1, just because that they seem to be on this change of ends for a long time. I do hope that doesn't suggest that there's an injury of any sort or anything like that. Gonna try and get up that match on my phone. It's a pretty lengthy delay. They have started here. 1-2-15 all. Okay, Paolini serving to stay in the match, and there's a forehand winner there from Gibson. A pretty special one, I would argue. Okay. If Davidovich Fokina or Lerner Tien could wrap this up inside an hour, a couple of straight sets, like 2-1, that would be great, so I can even have my dinner. Paolini, 1-5, 15-30. Gibson is 2 points away from knocking out number 7 seed, the top 10 player, Jasmine Paolini. Paolini to serve. Down the tee. Forehand return is missed. 30 all. John, calm down. Gibson, calm down. Everyone, calm down. Except for the people tuning in. I want you to all be excited. Whether you're a Gibson or Paolini fan, a Davidovich Fokina or Lerner Tien fan. Backhand turn is just too good from Gibson. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a shot. What a winner. Tata Gibson, take a bow. That backhand today has been gravy. And now she's a point away. Talia Gibson. Forehand return is also unbelievable. Look at that. Look at that response. Look at that face. She can't believe it. Well, I'll tell you what, I can believe it because I predicted it. A Talia Gibson win over Jasmine Paolini in 3 sets is exactly as I called it. But listen, she's not going to be too worried about proving me right in terms of my prediction today. But take a bow, Talia Gibson. Your returns off that Paolini serve were wild. And Paolini was the second best player across 2 of the 3 sets. Hence, Gibson won it in 3. Gibson sort of went for a wander in that second set, and the forehand certainly at times in sets 1 and 2 let her down. Not so in the third set, to be fair. Look at that smile on the Australian's face. She has entered the top 100 for the first time as a result of this run in Indian Wells. That might be on top of her mind. Maybe not, because I think it was already assured today. Jasmine Paolini waves to the crowd. As I suggested in the preview, I think it might have to wait until the clay season before maybe the real Jasmine Paolini stands up. But listen, the real Talia Gibson stood up today. 7-5, 2-6, 6-1. Gibson broke Paolini's serve so many times today. She was down a break in the first, but one break of serve followed by another one. And Gibson sealed that first set by 7-5. The real Jasmine Paolini seemed to stand up briefly in that second set, but faded away in the second. I don't know if there's any issues with that taping that Jasmine had. We saw just around one of her knees. Her movement doesn't seem to be quite at the same electric best that we saw it over the last couple of years that has seen her rise to the top 10, Jasmine. But wow, those 2 returns of serve for the last 2 points. Just too good. There is an Italian post here regarding Paolini's demise. Obviously, it's an Italian Eurosport Italia website, so that makes sense. And a rather sort of bemused-looking Jasmine there in that image that you can see on the screen right now. But yeah, no Paolini-Iala rematch, that is for sure. Albeit that was a few matches down the line anyway. But it is Gibson who gets the job done. In the first set was tight, as you can see. Here's Gibson now. Here's Talia now.
We just want to get used to the name. Congratulations, an absolutely massive win. You've got to be feeling all kinds of emotions right now.
Gosh, yeah, honestly, just completely speechless. This is becoming even more
Speechless.
of me every single day. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who came out to watch it. It was a great atmosphere. So thank you.
And we could spend the next hour just talking about all of the firsts. It is your first WTA 1000 main draw. It is your first time beating a top 50 player. You did it 3 times. It's your first time facing a top 10 player. It's your first time beating a top 10 player. It's your first time into the quarterfinals here in the Indian Wells. That's amazing. From your humble perspective, why now?
That's a great question. I think just at the moment, I just have a lot of confidence in how I'm playing. I think especially after the Aussie summer, I was just able to learn so much, and I think everything's sort of clicking at the moment. So honestly,
Everything is very much clicking at the moment.
I'm not really sure how to answer that, to be honest. I'm just so shocked, but I'm over the moon.
Over the moon, she says.
Here on the biggest stage. But for so many of us here in Indian Wells, we're just getting to know you. So a little Talia trivia. Maybe what is it that we might not know about Talia outside of maybe something you enjoy doing, perhaps?
I mean, nothing super interesting.
All right. Well, I hope you could hear some of Talia's words there nicely. But she's over the moon, and I think even overwhelmed, perhaps, by this Daniel-esque big backhand. Suggests ghosting. I don't think that's unfair to suggest that. Gibson proceeds at the expense of Jasmine Paolini. Do make sure you join us now for Davidovich Fokina against Lerner Tien over on our other Talking Tennis stream. Look forward to seeing you there. And also, of course, we'll have other matches later on today, including Alex Iala against Linda Noskova on the channel, plus Victoria Mboko against Amanda Anisimova and Yannick Sinner against João Fonseca. We will have all of those matches, so please do join us for that. Just a quick look at the stats, by the way. Gibson here winning 72% on her first serve. Paolini hitting 26 winners, but it was 44 winners for Talia Gibson in what was a mesmeric display. And she was all over that Jasmine Paolini serve. She actually had 13 break points. She managed to break Jasmine's serve 5 times across those 3 sets. And she deserved the win. And now she awaits the winner of Alex Iala and Linda Noskova. So yeah, no Paolini Iala rematch. And it's going to be one of these 3 players in the Indian Wells semi-finals, either Alex Iala, Linda Noskova, or Talia Gibson. Yes, Talia Gibson. Okay, finish for Fokina, Lerner Tien, I hear you ask. What is going on there? Well, we're about to find out. Going to share the score with you on the screen. Last I saw, they were on serve, and they still are on serve. 2-3, change of ends, Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, has already hit a couple of double faults. My wish that this would be wrapped up in less than an hour. I mean, it was always a bit of a pipe dream, really, because I think this has got 3 hours, 3 sets written all over it, but we'll see. I'd love to see more tennis. It's just that I'm so hungry, and my dinner is just right behind us right now. Probably at the next change of ends. We've got a change of ends at 3-2, but the next change of ends, I might have a quick snack. Just to bring you up to date with some results from earlier on to beat who did he beat? Oh, Francis Tiafoe in straight sets. And Artur Fils beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in straight sets. So it's going to be Fils against Felix. Oh, Fils against, Zverev in the quarterfinals. That's the only concrete quarterfinal we have, because the 2 women's results we've had, Sabalenka winning in straight sets over Osaka and Gibson beating Paolini in 3 sets. Those 2 are not on course to play each other, not yet anyway. Gibson will play the winner of Viala and Noskova, and Sabalenka awaits the winner of Boko and Anisimova. I think Mboko wins, by the way. It is super close. I also think that Anisimova will not pose a bigger test to Sabalenka. I think Mboko will. They're my calls. I don't know what you think about those calls, but they're mine. Hope that's okay. Don't worry, Ghost. It's just right now. 15 love here on the Davidovich Fokina serve. I think we've got time now, because as long as these guys don't go 4 hours, I'll have time, because the next semi-finals are not until, I think, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. I think Pacific time, if I'm right. Your Tirok asking a question. I've gone for Lerner Tien. I didn't know he was necessarily the pre-match favorite, but I think the form of Lerner, the pedigree of his opponent in the previous round. Although I haven't said that, Davidovich Fokina beat Mensik. I mean, but I just think the trajectory of Lerner is going this way right now. Davidovich Fokina is probably like this. Plus, anyone who's been watching a lot of tennis over the last 5 years, probably, has seen this Davidovich Fokina roller coaster always end up coming off the rails at some point. Sorry, but it's true. 40-15, nevertheless, here on the Spaniard serve. Do hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. If you hit subscribe, by the way, right now, you'll see this little number just below me tick over. And you'll know that it was you who made that difference, and you can do a little dance to celebrate. $40-15 here for Davidovich Fokina. $40-30 now, but Davidovich Fokina does get over the line to hold for 3-all. Do let me know your thoughts. By the way, who are you guys going for? I just want to see a D or a T. Southern Europeans, or especially Spaniards, Ghosty, but maybe Greeks too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just learning. I'm leaning learner. I was going to say I'm learning leaning, but I'm leaning learner as he puts that forehand away. 30 love. I don't know what Davidovich's record is against lefties, by the way. Gonna try and find out. Okay. 40 love here for learner. Well, maybe I should have done a bit better on. Oh my goodness me! Still nearly got himself back in that point. Oh really? TNNS, yeah. I mean, they probably just had to. I mean, I think they might be Google in a way, so that might be why. I don't know. Learner Tien holds, by the way, and we are going to take a quick break. Hey, thanks for taking the time to. Well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win, 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 win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid, but these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. we're back with Davidovich Fokina here serving at 3-4, 30-15. Good to see Ghosty here across some of the doubles. Oh my goodness me, Ghosty, I didn't know that. Regarding Davidovich Fokina against lefties, by the way, 42-16 overall, but 24-9 at the ATP level. But he is 0-3 in his last 3 matches against lefties. So Lerner could make 4 lefty defeats in a row for Davidovich Fokina today. But he has got 2 game points here at 40-15 to go 4 all. Those 3 losses in a row, by the way, have been against Humbert in Adelaide, Chapeau in Dallas, and Bellucci in Acapulco. So those are the 3 losses in a row for him against lefties. $40-30 now. Is Tien going to make 5 out of 5 regarding my predictions today? For all, I think it's depends on. Are we talking about best of 3 Indian Wells? No, I think it's first to 7. Backhand into the net there from Lerner. So love 15. $15 all with that Davidovich Fokina return going awry. Oh, Tien misses there. 15-30. Good serve out wide that Davidovich Fokina can't deal with. 30 all. Although now we've got a break point here for Davidovich Fokina. Okay, 30-40. Lerner out wide, misses the first serve. Second serve here for Davidovich Fokina to look at. Second serve tame, but that's nothing tame about that forehand winner down the line. Lerner loves going down the line. Honestly, I'm sure he was a fisherman in a past life, given that his line is so strong. I'll get my coat. Going to come to the live chat in a moment, by the way. Deuce. Okay, Lerner down the tee, backhand return, backhand from Lerner into the forehand of Davidovich Fokina, back from Lerner now, backhand Davidovich Fokina. Oh my goodness me, Davidovich Fokina, take a bow. What a backhand cross court that was. Okay, but break point here. Davidovich Fokina on the forehand. Forehand from Tien goes cross court. Is he going to go up the line at some point? Not yet. But it's Davidovich Fokina who goes up the line. And maybe Tien will regret that because Davidovich Fokina gets the break. 5-4 he leads. When they return to the court, he'll be serving for the first set. Take a bow, Davidovich Fokina, especially that backhand. My goodness me. That was gravy. Okay, gonna have a quick look at the live chat. What's going down? Indian Wells doubles, yeah, but is it? Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure I follow. I'm not sure if I think it's first to seven, unless it's yeah, unless it's what do you call it? Just one set each, and then go to the best of 10, first to 10. Let me know, Ghosty. Actually, I'm not sure. Indeed. Okay, Davidovich Fokina will serve for the first set. But like I say, this feels like we're here for the long one, guys. I don't think I could be wrong. Davidovich Fokina could run away with this 6-4, 6-1, but I don't see that happening. Talia Gibson, by the way, upset Jasmine Paolini today, 7-5, 2-6, 6-1. So Gibson is in the quarterfinals where she's going to play the winner of Noskova and Ayala. Okay, 15 love here for Davidovich Fokina. $30 love now, so 2 points away. Davidovich Fokina serves down the tee, backhand return, forehand from Davidovich Fokina into the backhand of Lerner. Lerner now on the forehand. He's dumped that in the net, Lerner. 40 love. 3 set points for Davidovich Fokina, and he takes it at the first time of asking. Davidovich Fokina wins the first set by 6-4, and we will take a break.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay, so we're going to go into a second set. Davidovich Fokina won the first set. 100% was he on net points. Nice, 5 out of 5. Anything but that from Zverev today. Not that it mattered too much because Zverev did beat Tiafoe in straights, but okay. Second set commences Tien to serve. Am I a half of the way towards my dinner? Or is it merely a third of the way? Well, learner Tien is going to hope that it's a third of the way, at least in terms of sets. As he begins with a fault off his first serve, backhand return, backhand from Lerner's into the net. He's hit the net quite a few times off the ground today, Lerner. Do hit that like button. Of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. I see that we've lost a subscriber in the last minute or so. I wonder if they're a Lerner fan. It's not my fault if Lerner Tien wins or loses tennis matches or sets. This is a neighbor, I assume, Jane. It's not someone in the stadium, right? Nice backhand up the line there from Lerner here at 15 all backhand. Forehand there is going to go long from Lerner, so 15-30. Interesting moments. Listen, I would be delighted for Alejandro Davidovich Fokina to win the title in Indian Wells. Absolutely delighted. I'd be delighted for him to win any title anywhere, actually. I just don't think it's happening. Forehand here into the forehand of Lerner. Lerner got a bit lucky with that net cord, of course. And that backhand from Davidovich Fokina is going to go long, 30 all. Serves, then the tee, backhand return. It's going to go long, 40-30. Okay, into the rally here. Drop shot from Davidovich Fokina. Tien gets there, but he's missed that forehand down the line. So we are at deuce. Okay, Tien serves. Forehand return. It's going to go out. So it's an advantage now for Lerner Tien. Almost down 15-30 in this game. So I'd be pleased to get out of it. But he's not going to get out of it yet. We're back to deuce. For those of you wondering, this is our Instagram page. Please do give us a follow there. Yeah, I mean, he's right, isn't he? In his irony. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. Okay. Deuce here between Tien and Davidovich Fokina. So I've been a bit distracted by some of the other things going on around the world. Game point now for Lerner Tien. Forehand into the net from Lerner. That's let him down a few times today. Apparently, extreme heat now affects 1 in 3 people globally. But that tennis PR person, she lives in the real world. Okay. You had to be with us during an earlier stream to know what I'm talking about there. Drop shot here from Fokina, but Tien's going to get there easily. Forehand winner. Advantage for Lerner. Yeah. Yeah, just looking at your comment, Ghosty, sorry. It's good, but I just prefer his some of his changes of direction and down the line. Backhand and forehand, but backhand especially down the line. And the backhand, because I think there's a lot of players with incredible inside-out forehands. You know, Alcaraz, for example, incredible. Yeah, but I highlighted it earlier, Ghosty, regarding the alleged or the person who masquerades as a journalist who says that she lives in the real world. Drop shot here from Lerner Tien. We're juiced, by the way, so a big point. Oh, I love that one. But Davidovich Fokina falls. Has Davidovich Fokina fallen today? Yes. I hope he's okay. He loses the point, and I hope he's not. It's the Achilles there, perhaps, if anything. Although even the hip, he's just checking. Let's see. It's just that the inside-out forehand is an easy. I don't want to sound nonchalant as a non-tennis professional, but it is one of the easiest shots to hit. You know, you've got your time, you can open up your body and go for it. And then it's just a case of, are you hitting your spots? Well, you absolutely should do. Are you getting it over the net? Are you not making an unforced error off it? Tien holds with a good serve out wide. So it's not a shot I hone in on too often as a this guy's got the best inside forehand in tennis, just because once you're in the position to hit it, yeah, you go for that. And if you don't go for it, it's because you haven't got the inside out forehand, perhaps, or you're just not feeling confident and you're dumping them in the net. I'm not Ghosty. I'm impressed by a million other shots on the tour from Tien and elsewhere. because it's just not that. It's like saying, I don't know. I'm really impressed with his defensive headers. I'm thinking about football. Inside out backhand. Now you're talking about a really difficult shot. Well, it just doesn't really happen, does it? Because you're never in that position. I mean, you go, wow, he's got a big serve. Unreturnable serve. Hits his spots. Most improved player in that respect. This is just sort of something regarding the serve. Unbelievable second serve. Kick spot, kick serve. High percentage first serve landing in. That's the serve, I guess. Slice serve out wide. I don't know. A million other aspects as well. But, you know, unbelievable forehand in general. Best return of serve. Best second serve returner. Unbelievable shot tolerance. Unbelievable ability to change direction. Backhand down the line, which I think is a really tough shot. I think, especially when you want to change direction, that I think Lerner does. Lerner's top 10 at that shot, for example. Maybe even higher. Oh, love 30 here. And then there's the drop shot. You know, that I saw Iga Swiatek hit a drop shot of the day. I mean, I mentioned that because it's just such a rare thing for Iga to do in her match with Sakkari. There was like a period of she didn't do a drop shot for like 18 months or something crazy. By the way, is this going to be the change of direction in terms of this match? Because we've got 3 break points on the Davidovich Fokina serve. Running forehand. Now, there you go. That's a shot. Yeah, it does meet my stringent criteria, Ghosty, which I'm just making up on the spot. So 3 break points here for Lerner Tien to draw first blood in the second set and mean that my dinner is getting further away rather than closer. Davidovich Fokina, by the way, in that first game against Lerner Tien, of course, he had his chances on the Lerner serve. He's just made that forehand. No, he's not. He's missed it. He's missed it. 2-love. Lerner Tien leads. Okay. Okay, Lerner Tien serving here at 2-love, and he's clipped the net with that forehand cross court, and it's landed out. Love 30 as well now. I'm telling you, we're here for the long ride, people. I know. I will. Don't worry. I will eat. Don't worry. 15:30. Good reactions from Lerner at the net. I just want to do it like I could easily like munch it down between changeovers and stuff like that, but I'm just going to do it, I think, at my own leisure between these matches. Assuming this finishes in the next hour or so, then would give me an hour before the next matches commence. Even if this goes an hour and a half, that still gives me half an hour to have dinner. 30 all here. Why don't we just give Lerner this set and go for a 1-set shootout? Boom. And I'll be getting closer to my dinner. Backhand return from Davidovich Fokina goes into the net. The problem is you don't want to be in a hurry watching Lerner Tien against Davidovich Fokina. This is not necessarily about their aggression or their speed. It's just because they're ballers and they can also get balls back and they'll keep fighting for every single point. And You know, Davidovich Fokina can be on the floor and still nearly win a point as he did just now. Deuce. There's some of our merch, by the way. Here's our Talking Tennis Instagram page at Talking Tennis TT. Second serve here at Deuce for Davidovich Fokina to look at. He is down a break. Nice forehand. I think that was kind of inside-out forehand you were just referring to there. But now Tien comes into the net, puts that volley away. So game point for learner Tien. What do you mean in terms of my aesthetic, Ghosty? You mean my logo or the what do you call it? Oh, a backhand into the net there from Lerner. Or you mean the what do you call it? The thumbnail or the background that you can see here. We're at Juice, by the way. Just after 4:05, it looks like local time. So far, I've been doing 5 hours of not pretty much, absolutely non-stop streaming. Okay, I'll have to either you can send me a link or I'll just find it. But I mean, I don't think I own the domain, to be fair, on the letter T or the color turquoise. Maybe I inspired them. Maybe I didn't. It's probably just a coincidence, though. Okay. Point once again for Lerner here to get to 3-love. And he gets it. As you say, Ghosty, good hold for Lerner. 3-love, change of ends. We'll take a quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a Talking Tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay, 3-love, Lerner Tien leads in this second set. Am I here for a bagel? Yes, I am. Look at those people dancing. Very funny. Very entertaining. Do we think the night matches are less well attended than the day matches, by the way? That's normally not the case, especially when it comes to the slams and people working and stuff. But given that people will have traveled to Indian Wells, probably from LA and other parts of California, people don't probably just go for the night session from work because it's probably too far away. In addition to that, I'm thinking about the climate and how it can often get very cool in the evenings. So I have seen a lot of empty-ish stadiums, but maybe more so at night than in the day. But maybe I'm wrong. 30-love here for Davidovich Fokina, by the way. Question: if you could do a book or a documentary on any living tennis pro, who would it be? You know, I've got a book in mind for one that's passed away, by the way. Yeah, Greenval is a huge tennis fan. He liked, by the way, a post I did about Damien about, well, I guess it was 8 weeks ago now, which was super nice off Glenn. Good forehand winner there from Tien, by the way, to get to 40-15. Yeah, it's just an idea for a book, but it's never been much more than that on Yana Novotná. As for a documentary, I have a couple in mind, but it's not about players, actually. Funny enough, I was just thinking about one of these two today. The first would be to do something about gambling and its connections to the sport. I saw somebody by the International Tennis Integrity Agency, that peculiar outfit. You know, you've got this International Tennis Integrity Agency that is slamming those that are ranked outside the top 500 that can barely make a living from the sport, but they get tempted by the gambling side of things. They take a quick buck and then they get suspended. But this is, of course, also the same. The agency, by the way, is it's an arm of the tennis authorities. I'm not sure quite. It's funded by the tennis authorities anyway. And yet that's the same tennis authorities that earn millions, maybe even hundreds of millions from the same industry. I mean, you go on a gambling website and they show tennis matches live, and the tennis industry is fine with it. If I showed 4 seconds of a match right now, my channel will get taken down. A beautiful drop shot from Lerner, as you highlight there. I'm not sure. That is beautiful, by the way. I'm just seeing it a couple of seconds later than you. Not sure Jane would admire that drop shot. Jane's gone pretty quiet. Acoustic. Oh, there she's back. There she is. Yeah, I know. But yeah, the other documentary, by the way, that I would do would be about poverty in tennis. And in particular, just the proximity. I thought about this when I was in Marrakesh last year and Rio over the last couple of years. The proximity you have to extreme poverty and a tennis tournament where players, sorry, not players, I shouldn't just single out players, far from it. People who are attending have the most extreme wealth. And I just think within a few meters of each other, it's kind of wild in a way. Ghosty, about 3 days after the funeral, we were in touch. We're going to do a show, by the way, for Damien. It will happen. It's just taken us a time. We needed to find the right time in terms of sensitivity, but also when the people I want on the show to be available. So we're going to do a show, I think, probably after Miami. Game point here for Lerner Tien at 40-30 to go up 4-1. It was helped by that serve down the tee that set up that forehand. I mean, I'm pretty even on this match because I like both. I just have the very egotistical scenario of, oh, what are you doing there, Lerner? Oh, he's won it still anyway with a smash. The ego thing regarding predictions. When you make a prediction, you want to be proved right, right? So I've backed Lerner to win this in 3. I mean, Ghosty, it's a bus ride away from the favelas, that's true. But it's even within just a few hundred meters away from, you know, just people on the street. By the way, I learned today that the UK, People on the street homeless, of course. I learned today, by the way, that the UK, by some margin, has the most homeless people per person on the planet. I think it said Belgium was second, by the way, which might surprise some of those in the US. But yeah, the amount of homeless people in the UK is obscene. Yeah, you make a very good point, Ghost. I'll be in touch with them again shortly because I want to speak to them about this show that I would like to do. I say I, it will be we, because there'll be several others, of course, participating. It doesn't surprise me, Ghosty. The eye test can often be unreliable, but the eye test is not always that unreliable. Yeah, I know LA has a huge problem. So yeah, I think a documentary could be quite interesting, just to say, look, here's tennis and here's poverty. And also, you know, of course, you get extremely wealthy people just walking straight past it, you know, and don't bat an eyelid. So I think it could be interesting. By the way, that stadium is, what would we say, a third full, maybe? For an American as well, maybe a bit disappointing. But it is sort of maybe at that time of day between the sort of earlier matches with maybe some bigger names and then the night session, which might well attract a lot. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Filipinos out in full force later on. Love 15 here on the Davidovich Fokina serve, by the way. Is Lerner still WUSC playing Naka tennis? Yorty Rocks 7339. By the way, doesn't Yorty Rocks image there? I thought it looked a bit like Craig Shapiro, the tennis podcaster. What an angle that is. Oh my, has that landed in? Oh my goodness, from both players, but Lerner especially. What an angle Davidovich Fokina found. And then Lerner's forehand down the line. That was through the eye of a needle stuff, that. Did it just clip the net on the way through, by the way? Don't know. Just wild. Oh, what a pass that is for Lerner on the left-hand side. Forehand cross court. Love 40. Maybe it's time for Jane to look away now. At least these, we are going 3 sets, but the 2 sets have been swift-ish, especially this set if Lerner wraps it up quickly. I'm just saying this because I've got my dinner waiting. What are you cooking, Jane? Oh, double fault from Davidovich Fokina, 5-1. Lerner's going to serve for the set. Jane, I'm guessing because did the clocks change in Eastern time as well as Pacific time recently? Because I think it's a brief period of the year when we're 8 hours difference from where I am in Bonn in Western Germany. There's a brief period of the year when we're 8 hours from Pacific time and 5, I think, from Eastern time. So I'm guessing it's 20 past 7 where you are in the evening. By the way, we've had some really good weather the last 2 weeks in Germany, but it's just turning chilly right now. I haven't put my heating on for a couple of weeks, but I'm just getting my sort of slippers. I'd call them house shoes, which is actually a direct translation of German. They're not exactly slippers, but they just keep your feet off the ground, so they get your feet a bit warm. Ace down the tee there from Lerner to get to 30 love. Underrated part of his game, I would argue, is the serve. More so in the serve out wide than down the tee. Ooh, Davidovich Fokina misread that serve, by the way. Not that it mattered because it clipped the net. Ace down the tee, Lerner, there you go. Wow, these serves are Lerner Tien serving bombs on the way to holding serve. That was a very quick service game. I wonder how many Wonder if that was less than a minute. Zach says a lot of things about Lerner, and I think he might have been tongue-in-cheek with that serve bot thing, but I want to see, but he is a good server. He's going to run off the court, by the way, and have a quick break. See how long that was. Going to get the going to get my stopwatch out and see how quick that service game was from the first point to the last. Hang on. Right, I'm just going to replay that game. All right. What are you cooking, Jane? I want to know. Right, here we go. So Lerner's about to serve for the set. I'm going to click start, stopwatch, soon as he hits the ball, which is now. Okay, unreturned serve. Let's see how quick this service game is. I'm just watching it again. Unreturned serve from Lerner. An hour and 10 minutes on the clock. I'm just watching this final service game because I know it's pretty quick. Ace down the tee. Come on, Lerner, get that ball quickly and serve it now. Quick, 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 come on. How are we doing here? Ace. No, it wasn't an ace. Clip the net. So that's going to cost him a few seconds. I thought it wasn't. But he does get an ace now down the tee. Come on, Lerner. Quickly, get that ball. Quickly, come on. Come on, get it. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. Now, of course, we can't stop the watch until the ball lands out, which it does now. I think it might even have been 49 seconds, by the way. Because I think I stopped it a second after. I'm going to write 49 seconds. That last service game from Lerner Tien lasted 49 seconds. Indian Wells. Should we see if we get a picture of Lerner serving? They are on a little break at the moment. By the way, I still want to know, what are you cooking? Oh, okay, we got it here. Mustard greens and Tioboki or Chioboki. What is that? Sorry, I should know. I know. There we go. Okay, we've got a picture of him serving. Okay. Time has been called and we're back on court. Oh, because I wonder why it took so long and my scoreboard is so. It's because, of course, I rewound it, didn't I, by 49 seconds. So, Very good, Ghosty. 30 all here on the Davidovich Fokina serve. Good forehand down the line there from Davidovich Fokina. Backhand cross court now into the back. Forehander Lerner. Lerner's obviously going to be tempted to change direction at some point here, but actually Davidovich Fokina comes into the net and then Lerner puts a backhand in the net and Davidovich Fokina goes, come on. So we have got a super tiebreak. So first to 10, is it, Ghosty? And is that best as 2 sets and then first to 10? Yeah, of course, switch over and answer my question, please. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, it is interesting, Ghosty, but explain, don't forget, and this is something we've spoken about before. How many games were there and how many points were played? So, first of all, the first set was 10 games and 45 minutes. The second set was 7 games and 25 minutes. And if Tien is for one of those games serving bombs, you're not hitting a single unforced error in that game, right? And he wasn't just serving bombs for one game. So quite easy to explain in a way. That's what I'm saying, Ghosty. So it's not like first set, second set, third set, and then first to 10. Learner's background, by the way, is Vietnamese, I believe, but I could be wrong. I've got to check. Yeah, Vietnamese American. Interestingly, whenever you Google him, especially Google Images, but even Google News and Google Stories, a lot of the time Vietnamese media appears. Media outlets. Was born in California. Obviously, his coach at the moment, Michael Chang, former Grand Slam winner. I think he won the French Open, didn't he? That goes long there from Davidovich Fokina. So it's 15 love here. There you go. Serve down the tee. Okay, 40-15. And it was a quick hold there for Lerner as well for 1-all. Oh, Darwin Blanche has beaten Atmani in Phoenix. Oh, look at that backhand there from Davidovich down the line for 15 love. Rome Ito Piketty 8262. First thing I want you to do, Rome, I'm just going to call you Rome for now if it's okay, first name terms. I want you to hit the like button. Second thing I want you to do is click subscribe on our channel. Then the third thing I want you to do is tell me where in the world you are, right in the live chat. So down the tee, decent return there from Lerner. Forehand there, cross court is going to go out, 30 love. When Rome hits subscribe, by the way, we're going to see it just below me here, tick over. And Rome, you can do a little twirl. You're in the US, all right? I think you need Tennis Channel, right? To watch this. What do you, we've got quite a few people in the US. Thanks for the subscribe, by the way. We've got quite a few people in the chat in the US. I know Jane and Ghosty. What channel are you watching this match on? 3 game points here for Davidovich Fokina. Yorty Rock is from the Philippines. Okay. Are you in the Philippines right now? Because if you are, it must be... Oh, I guess it's more early morning, right? 7 a.m. maybe, 10, 7 in Manila. Well, Davidovich Fokina's held for 2-1, change of ends. It was a good return, that, though, from Lerner, but ultimately... those forehands from Davidovich Fokina. Oh, it was a drop shot. Okay. Tien didn't deal with it. Okay. 7:30 in the morning. Okay, so it's not mega early. I thought it was a bit late. Great. Yeah, so Tennis Channel, Rome, Etop Piketty, 8262. Yorty Rock. We will be, of course, having many more matches on today, including Alexiala's match against Linda Noskova. So do join us for that. Some Roger Federer fans there listening to, I think, Indian Wells radio. By the way, Ghosty, I'm surprised you haven't gone to Indian Wells this year. I think you have in previous years, right? Although it might be a few years since you were there. No, I don't think so, Ghosty. I think there may have been a bit of trepidation regarding public transport in the wake of... so, okay, Tennis TV has this match, but it doesn't have the women's matches, yeah. You might get that on public transport in the wake of a terror attack, for example. Or maybe a location or a plane or something like that. But no. I mean, in the US, I imagine people are afraid to go to school, right? What is it Eddie Izzard says? He quotes someone who says that the guns don't kill people, but people kill people. But he says, but the gun helps. The gun helps. Okay, 15 love here for Lerner Tien. An hour and 24 minutes on the clock. Tien has been pretty comfortable on serve since he was broken towards the end of the first set. Look at that, an ace down the tee. 30 love. So apparently the coach of Davidovich Fokina in the last service game of Tien, so this is Tien serving at 5-1, basically told his player to let it go and let's serve first in the deciding set. And he did look a bit disinterested in some of those serves. They were good serves, but Lerner was like, it looked like he misread one of them. The one that clipped the net and actually ended up looking like an ace, but it just touched the net on the way through. It looked like he misread that one. But actually, maybe he wasn't giving it full pelt. I think there may also be a physical element to it that Davidovich Fokina maybe just wanted to reset. By the way, we've got the juice here on the Lerner serve from 40-15. Oh, okay. We've got, sorry, you give me some score updates from Felix's doubles match, right? Let me have a look. That's the great thing. You can have a crushing loss like Felix had today to Artur Fils. You've got to dust yourself down and get going. Oh, okay. So Khachanov and Rublev have match points against Korda and Auger-Aliassime. 4 match points, no less. Double fault from Lerner Tien. And we've got a break point for Davidovich Fokina. Still, with the next match is not starting for another hour and a half, whatever happens here, I think I should get a comfortable dinner. Oh, Hachinov and Rublev have sealed the deal. So they knock out Auger Aliassime and Korda. Yeah, Rublev, of course, in the singles, went out in his first match to Gabriel Diallo. Tien has saved the break point and now has a game point of his own. Rublev with a knockout blow. There you go. Well, it's more likely to be Rublev than Hachinov. No offense, Karen. Forehand here from Lerner into the backhand of Davidovich Fokina. Forehand from Lerner up the line is really good, and Davidovich Fokina can't deal with it. 2 games all. Now, that's the strength of Lerner, you see, going over the high part of the net, but so aggressively that his opponent can't deal with it. That's a shot you can be proud of. 2 games all. Yeah, well, Griekspoor was injured, wasn't he? So badly that he's had to skip the Sunshine Double. Where is good, right? I think it's a positive thing. Second serve here for Tien to look at as we approach the hour and a half mark. That second set was pretty swift. Lerner really should be doing better with some of these forehands. He's dumping a lot of these short balls into the net. 15 love. Won 8 of the last 10 games as Lerner. No, 8 of the last 11 games. Forehand here, cross court from Lerner into the backhand of Davidovich Fokina. Look at that. You see what I'm saying, Ghosty? Do you see what I'm saying with that forehand up the line? His ability to change direction. Now, that is something which he is elite at. And I'm somewhere top 10, but maybe even higher. I'll tell you who's also pretty good at it, especially on the backhand side. Jaime Faria. Look at the match against Djokovic at the Australian Open last year, in particular. Djokovic was struggling on Rod Laver Arena. Anyway, 30-15 here after an unreturned serve there. Lerner tried to do a block return, and it didn't look good because it barely made it back to the net. Another unreturned serve, 40-15. So 2 game points here for the Spaniard. Yeah, I'd say Yannick. Yannick's 1 probably in that. Djokovic as well. I mean, yeah. Zverev is not bad except when he's under pressure, as in like trying to serve it out. Davidovich Fokina holds comfortably. 3-2. Change of ends. Do we have a video of interest to play you? Have you ever seen this video, by the way, people? There are many aspects to living in a foreign country. Ordering a coffee at the local coffee shop, finding a local pub to spend your time in at weekends, for example, making new friends, and of course, finding a good supermarket. The Remo 1000, much better than the Remo 900. Have we seen that video before, people? I might play it again later. Maybe I'll play it at the end of the match in full because it's a 3-minute video. Ghosty, a little teaser. That's what it was. I'll play the full video at the end of the stream, so you've got to stay here for the end, right? By the way, we've just spiked in terms of our YouTube viewers. It's a new one for you, is it? I'll play the full video, I promise you, at the end. It's on YouTube, but it's on my John Silk YouTube channel, which you're more than welcome to subscribe to, but honestly, you don't have to. I think I've got like 35 subscribers or something. Shall we have a look, actually? Let's see how many subscribers I've got on my own personal YouTube channel, which I think has some pretty cool videos on there. That one has a few thousand views, actually. But yeah, my personal 36 subscribers. I did myself a disservice by 1 subscriber. Let's view my channel. Here I am. So I'm just having a look at something on my YouTube channel. It makes sense to me as a video that I didn't even know was there. Yeah. There we go. No, it's not tennis related. No, Ghost, it's not. Okay, Tien here comfortably holds. No, he doesn't. Sorry, 40-15. I thought he'd got that one back over. Sorry, my bad. I should get back to the tennis, shouldn't I? I mean, who's better right now? Well, I think Lerner's ranking is higher, but Fonseca's won 2 ATP Tour titles and Lerner's won 1. But it's nip and tuck between the two, that's for sure. Okay, slice here from Davidovich Fokina. Forehand cross court from Lerner. And Davidovich Fokina can't deal with it. So it's 3 games all. Yeah, it's a good question. It's just very kind of subjective, isn't it? Who's better right now? I mean, I think the head-to-head favors Fonseca. Maybe on the main tour. Maybe depends on if you include next gen or not. Let's have a look. Oh, 3-0. They are including the 2 next gen wins that Zhao has. Okay. Then there was that 3-set match in Miami last year, which was just fantastic. Not sure it's a good matchup for Lerner. Not sure. Yeah, he beat Lerner in Miami, didn't he? Probably Lerner, because he can beat Medvedev with frequency. And he's also playing top 10 players, I think, a bit more. Thanks to obviously going deep at slams. Yeah, and he's had a slam quarterfinal. Zhao hasn't. But I think head-to-head, plus having another title. But then where's their ranking? I mean, probably Lerner's right now ranked higher. So I guess you just got to go on. If your question is, who's better right now? Well, Lerner Tien is ranked 27 going into this tournament and may well be creeping up even higher. And Zhao is 35. So in answer to the question, specifically, who's better right now? Lerner Tien. But that is a very evolving question, or evolving answer, I should say. Double fault there from Davidovich Fokina. So we're at 40-15 here on his serve. But he does hold for 4-3. Do you want to be teased a bit more with this video? There are many aspects to living in a foreign country. Ordering a coffee at the local coffee shop, finding a local pub to spend your time in at weekends, for example, making new friends, and of course, finding a good supermarket. The Remo 1000, much better than the Remo 900. Supermarkets all around the world have fruit and veg sections, and Danish supermarkets are no different. As we can see here, we have some wonderful bananas, European Union regulated obviously, and interestingly though in Denmark we don't actually weigh the fruit and veg like we would do in many other European countries, and we just simply go straight to the checkout and they weigh it there for us. Also, of course, a part of the experience is trying to find the right apple. I've been here already 20 minutes looking for Granny Smith apples, but I couldn't find any, so this will have to do. But let me tell you this, Danish fruit and veg is some of the best fruit and veg in the world. Put it in the bag and into the basket. Also, one of the most confusing aspects for shopping in a foreign country is knowing the price of things, and in particular if there are discounts on offer. As you'll see from this packet of meat here, it's very difficult to know exactly how much it is. But if you turn it around, ta-da! 15 kroner. Oh, hi there. You just caught me in the wine section after speaking to a lovely Danish guy who pointed me in the right direction. And I'm here looking for some wonderful traditional Danish wine. And I've got this wonderful bottle here from Jutland, which is the region of Denmark that we're currently in the north of Denmark. This local vintage from 1875, which seems pretty old to me. But to be fair, the Danes are also very well known for their beer consumption, and here we have a nice traditional Danish beer. As I said to you, the Danes are very well known for drinking beer. In fact, the average Danish woman will drink up to 21 cans of this per day. Right. Enough of that. That's not the complete video, by the way. As I said, I'll play it at the end. But we have got Lerner Tien serving here at 3-4. I don't know if our tennis audience wish to know stuff about the beer consumption of Danish women. Yeah, indeed. Okay, 30 love here on the Lerner serve. Can João Fonseca beat Jannik Sinner? Yes, he can. Will he beat Jannik Sinner? I don't think so. By the way, I saw a question about the João Fonseca hype train. Wait for that to just go into overdrive if he beats Jannik today. Lerner Tien, Lerner, you've got to do better than that, my friend. You've got to wake up a bit earlier in the morning than that to beat Davidovich Fokina, my friend. 30-15. Old Focky's a wily old fox. Although he didn't have to be particularly wily there. Ooh, first serve into the net from the serve bot. So second serve here for Alejandro to look at. Look at that, you see, that change of direction. And then look at that. Look at that shape, that arch. Getting it over the highest part of the net. Now that is the elite shot. None of your inside-out forehand nonsense, Ghosty. Come on. Inside-out forehand, strong suit. My goodness. If only that was a shot that you could rely on in tennis as being not rely on, but only a shot you could call on and say, yeah, this is my strength. I think I'd be all right at the sport. Great depth there, by the way, from, oh, what a forehand that is. Cross court from Lerner. I guess the only thing that you might say in terms of the inside-out forehand from Lerner is that he is a lefty, so it goes into the right-handed backhand. Yeah, no problem, Ghosty. Speak to you soon. 1 hour and 40 minutes on the clock. You better return before the end, by the way, Ghosty, because I'm going to play that video in full. 4 games all. Davidovich Fokina here serving. Having served first in this deciding set, and perhaps on the advice of his coach, pretty much just gave up on the last service game of Lerner Tien, so he could serve first going into the deciding set. We'll see if that decision works in his favor or not. The only thing I would say is, if he fights for that last game, then he gets a break back, and he's likely to fight for it and still lose it. You know, it's very likely that learner Tien either serves it out then or serves it out the next time of asking. So he still gets to serve first in the deciding set. Anyway, just a thought. Forehand here from Davidovich Fokina. Backhand slice from Lerner. Oh, what a cross-court passing shot that is from Lerner Tien. 15 all. Lerner Tien on the run there. Take a bow. Okay, just getting a subscriber. Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like button, by the way. And how many likes have we got on this video? Let me know in the live chat. Okay, 15 all. I'm just going to have a quick look as well at our poll for this match. Oh, I'm looking at the likes as well. We've got 12 likes. $59.49 in the poll. 59% for Lerner. Okay, drop trade, but that's not going to... Oh, Lerner Tien, you've got to be punishing that. 30-15. Okay. It's almost dinner time. Okay. Backhand cross court. Forehand from Lerner. Backhand slice from... Forehand slice now from Lerner. This is an incredible rally. This is... Oh, Lerner trying to change direction. I don't dislike the idea. But maybe the bounce was just too low to do that on that occasion. 40-15 for Davidovich Fokina. What a return that is from Lerner Tien. My goodness me. Given how far out wide he was pushed. Boy, oh boy, bang on the line. Okay, 40-30. Forehand goes into the net, and Davidovich Fokina is delighted with that hold. So, 5-4 or 4-5. Tien is going to, when they return to the court, Tien is going to serve to stay in the match. We'll take a quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of Lerner, Tien, and Davidovich Fokina, by the way, will play the winner of João Fonseca and Yannick Sinner. So we may yet have a Lerner, Tien, João Fonseca match that might well decide of who is better right now in response to the question that was posed earlier. But Tien is serving to stay in the match, so he's a long way away from, he's anywhere but assured. It's a 50-50 call right now as to whether he makes the quarterfinal. In fact, he's just put a backhand into the net, and therefore, Davidovich Fokina is 3 points away from a spot in the quarterfinals. Tien serves out wide, but that forehand return is not going to do anything. 30-15. And of course, I don't expect a Fonseca Tien quarterfinal because I'm anticipating that Yannick prevails against João one way or another. We have got one quarterfinal set, which is Artur Fils against Alexander Zverev. Fils beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in straight sets earlier, and Zverev beat Francis Tiafoe also in straight sets to set up that quarterfinal. So we see this rally here. Forehand from Tien. Oh, a bit lucky that from Davidovich with the net cord there. Good change of direction from Tien, but nowhere near done in this point because Davidovich Fokina is fighting. Oh, I thought Davidovich Fokina was going to go for a shot there, but it doesn't matter because Lerner unforced error with going long there with that baseline shot, and it's 30 all, meaning Davidovich Fokina is 2 points away. Jordi Rock here saying, come on, Tien. Well, 30 all, Tien serving. Cross court forehand now from Tien into the backhand of... Oh, Lerner's struggling here. Lerner's struggling. A smash from Davidovich Fokina. We've got match point. Match point. Davidovich Fokina here on the Lerner serve. 30-40. Smart approach from Ghosty. I couldn't agree more. Come on, Tien, says Jordi Rock. Well, he might need all the support he can get because he's down match point here. Tien serving 30-40, 4-5 in this deciding set. Good serve, but we're into the rally right now. But excellent depth there from Tien. Oh, my goodness me. No, lacking in bravery. Has he missed that, Lerner? No, he hasn't. Excellent, unbelievably brave tennis. But now it's Davidovich Fokina on the attack. Wonderful cross-court shot. Davidovich Fokina comes into the net. He's going to miss the volley. Woo! Deuce. Brave. Sir Lancelot. No, brave tennis from both players there. Oof. I don't necessarily dislike the net approach from Davidovich Fokina. It was a little bit of a surprise, perhaps, but it was a difficult volley. Listen, fortune favors the brave, but I also think Lerner was brave with some of his deep shots. Net cord again. Wonderful forehand winner up the line from Davidovich Fokina, setting up another match point. It's twice now when he's been 2 points away, though he's got a little bit lucky with the net cord. It didn't change the trajectory big style, but he didn't lose the point, and that's the most important thing from his perspective anyway. Match point number 2, Lerner serves down the tee. It's a good serve down the tee, and that's not going to land in. Serve bot Lerner to the rescue. Deuce. Look at Michael Chang there. Game point Lerner Tien now. Painting lines, Ghosty. I think you might have stolen that from someone, by the way, that expression. To be fair, I've stolen it from someone. I don't even know who I stole it from, but... Serve bot Tien to the rescue. Ugh. Tense moments. Lerner trying to back up his Australian Open quarterfinal run with an Indian Wells quarterfinal run. Davidovich Fokina is in pursuit of his first ever title. Lerner holds, saves 2 match points. And it's 5 all. Listen to the crowd, by the way. Looks like Davidovich Fokina getting some more advice from his coach there. Whether he's going to listen or not, I don't know. Davidovich is Fokina's coach. Just wondering the nationality. Manolo Rubiales, I guess. I think that's his coach. $15 love here anyway. Oh, Mariano Puerta. Sorry. Interesting choice for coach. Didn't he lose to Nadal in his in the French Open final of 2005? Yeah, he did, yeah. Did he also? Yeah, doping, yeah, exactly. 2-year suspension for doping. In 2003, so he came back and then made the final of the French Open. But he tested positive again in December, or he was banned again in December 2005. So yeah, doping bans. But he appealed the second ban, it seems like. And he had it reduced from 2 years. Or had it reduced to 2 years, I say. $8 years. It was initially 8 years, but got reduced to 2. Okay. 5-all, 15-30. Would be cool if we got a tie break, suggests Ghosty. I think Tien doesn't panic in big moments, Yorty. I think that's a fair point. Yeah, he's very ice cold in the clutch department. Could serve down the tee there, though, from Fokina to get us to 30-all. As we add a subscriber to our account. Stay with us, by the way, because at the end of this match, I'm going to do a quick preview for Artifice and Alexander Zverev. So I'll be doing that. Plus, I'm going to play the much highly anticipated video of me in a Danish supermarket in full. So that should be a good enough reason for you to stay with us. Oh, look, there you go. There's your... By the way, he dyes his hair, right? Tommy Haas. I mean, it's black, basically. 40-30 here. Game point for Davidovich Fokina. Misses the first serve. Tadamore, yeah, I saw that. She sued the WTA. Yeah, I wanted to actually... Remember the lawyer I had on the show last year? He did an interesting piece today as well about how Opelka and I think Castella as well are both coming off, taking their names off as plaintiffs from the PTPA action. So, yeah, Davidovich Fokina, by the way, holds for 6-5 with a forehand winner. Yeah, Daniel Kaplan, I think his name is, from memory. I've interviewed him once. Nice guy. Got a healthy following on Twitter, by the way. I think he's got, 26,000 followers. So, the tennis antitrust lawsuit, lost its 2 top-ranked singles players. Yeah, I think it's Opelka and Castella dropping from the tennis antitrust lawsuit. So, yeah, the ATP, WTA, and the remaining Grand Slams certainly get their teeth into the players. I don't know if it makes a big difference. I don't know. I know Matt Futterman, the journalist, and he is a real journalist, by the way, he argued that the names on the plaintiff in terms of their magnitude in the game and their legendary status are not, it's not the biggest, it's not the be-all and end-all. Put it that way. I've noticed over the years, since the whole sort of COVID and non-vaccination status of Novak, since that all started to die down in 2023, I noticed that Novak's relationship with the authorities got warmer and warmer, let's say, in particularly 2024 and 2025. You know, his appearances in the videos, never really criticizing the organizations from that moment onwards, despite there being opportunities to do so and being asked about it as well. Okay. But being in the promotional material as well, a lot of the time, it's not something you would do, would you? If you were serious about suing an organization, you wouldn't appear in their promotional material as well. So I think he softened in that respect. And of course, he wasn't on the original, what do you call it? On the original notice. Okay. Let's get the scoreboard up anyway for Davidovich Fokina. And learn a Tien, because Tien here is serving at 5-6-30 love. We will have all of the remaining matches on the channel later on today, so please do tune in for all of those. Learner Tien serving here at 30 love. Yes, for sure, Ghosty. And I think eventually there'll be just some sort of out-of-court scenario where there's a deal done. There'll be some concessions from the ATP and WTA, and unfortunately, I think that's where it'll end. But ultimately, the cartel will continue. 30-15. Tien couldn't deal with that backhand. So 30-15, 5-6. I'm going for Lerner in the tiebreak if we get that far, which it looks like we are going to get that far because we've got 2 game points here for Lerner. Did really well, Davidovich Fokina, to get the return there. But again, going over the high part of the net. And Davidovich Fokina, by the way, just can't believe how Tien keeps painting these lines. Ghosty, I would love to think that. But we're talking about someone who's pushing €1 billion in wealth of his own and doesn't pay taxes in Serbia. Oh, comes into the net here. Davidovich Fokina puts the backhand volley away. 40-30. I think his residence is Monte Carlo. And he's fine with, getting to bed with other billionaires. So I have considered that. But then also, Bill Ackman hasn't changed into this monster in the last couple of years or something. It's been there for a while. Okay, Tien, second serve, backhand return. Remember, we've had 2 match points for Davidovich Fokina. Come and go. Forehand into the backhand of Davidovich Fokina. Forehand now from Lerner, changing direction. Forehand again, going cross-court Lerner with excellent depth on it. Much to the chagrin of Davidovich Fokina, but he's dealing with these pretty well on the backhand side. Now Davidovich Fokina's changing direction, by the way. Now he's moving Lerner all around the court. Lerner's on the run. But Davidovich Fokina's going to miss that backhand cross-court, I think, just by a few centimeters. So we are going to a tie-break. Ghosty, by the way, I like it when you call me Silky. It reminds me of my school days because really, I'd say since school, I haven't been called Silky. And people I went to school with still call me Silk or Silky, but I rarely get that now. It's like when you come here and we call you Ghosty. Does it give you little warm tingles? Davidovich Fokina here, serving 6-all, tie-break time. He's serving first. He got to serve first, of course, in this deciding set. And he's also serving first here. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going out wide, but you're going to miss the first serve. Second serve. Backhand return. Forehand from Davidovich Fokina. Forehand from Lerner is really good. Davidovich Fokina on the defense. Davidovich Fokina on the defense. Davidovich Fokina on the defense. That's not going to land in, is it? No. Well out. So 1-0. Lerner Tien. Hey, that's good memories. I was thinking about Game to Love earlier. Did you ever see me on Game to Love, Ghosty? They don't do live streams anymore, right? They still do lots of stuff, but not live. Anyway, mini break for Learner Tien, 1-0. I haven't seen those guys since Valencia 24, so it's about 17, 18 months since we last met up. Forehand here from Davidovich Fokina. Run around forehand for Learner Tien as he goes to the inside-out forehand that Ghosty says he's so good at. And it forces the error, arguably. Davidovich Fokina cutting a frustrated figure right now. (2-0) Learner. He has the mini break. But Davidovich Fokina's got the mini break back. 2-1. I'm not sure Dumpling is very sweet, by the way, as a nickname. Yeah, it was over 4 years ago now, Ashley. I think the first time we did it was Aussie Open 2022 during the Rafa Nadal run. I think they still put out some stuff and some pretty good stuff, I think, Ghosty. I don't agree with everything they say and do, but then who does? And what a world we would live in if we did. Learner has regained the mini break advantage. By the way, I say I don't agree with everything. It's just basically, I think, one tweet they put out a few years ago, which I think was probably ill-advised. And I told them that. And I think they possibly regret it. I don't know. A drop shot here, by the way. This is the 3-1 point. What an incredible point this was, by the way. Listen to the crowd. I have no idea what they do. And they're honestly, I generally don't know what they do. I think they work in accounts or accounting. So 3-1 Tien, or 1-3, I should say, because Davidovich Fokina is serving. So mini break advantage here with Learner right now. Where are you going with this serve, Davidovich? You are going out wide, but you're going to miss the first serve. Second serve. Oh, good body serve. Good aggressive second serve. Yeah, I know. Ben is a huge Nole fan. The only thing is about Ben and Nole and the fandom. He always denied it, even though it was quite obvious for like a couple of years. And JG and I as well would tease him about it. And it was like, come on, just stop. Drop the guard. And then eventually, I think at some point, actually, since I last did a show with them, actually, probably about 2023, they did drop the guard. And just went, yeah, I'm a huge Nole fan. Here we go. 4-2, Learner Tien. Good serve down the tee there. I think it is, actually. It has started to fill up as we probably get to a more sort of, if you have a working day and you're within an hour of Indian Wells, you can probably get there, I guess, for about now, because it has filled up. It was probably about a third full in the first set. And now it seems more like 2/3 full. But they've also, what you have when it's super sunny, the crowd will disperse a bit more. So I'd like to see an aerial shot before I give a cast iron percentage. But yeah, of course, that first set in when it's super sunny, they're all in a particular part of the stadium. But now they're a bit more spread out. Okay, second serve here for Davidovich Fokina to look at. Backhand return. Forehand from Learner into the backhand of Davidovich. Oh, what a shot from Davidovich Fokina, but it's not won the point outright. But he should win it from here. Oh, that passing shot has just landed out. 4-3. So we're back on serve. Okay. 3-4. Davidovich Fokina serving. He did guess right, and he nearly made that pass. Learner in clutch situations, though. And we're in a pretty clutch one right now. And Davidovich Fokina in clutch situations, albeit it's not championship. We're not fighting for a championship right now. That is one thing I will say. So a little bit less pressure. Forehand return. Short, though, from Learner. But he's staying in the rally thanks to that backhand. Now he's got an inside-out forehand, but he doesn't kill it off there. Now it's a forehand down the line. And that forehand's going to go long from Davidovich Fokina. 5-3. In a tiebreak, I don't count, Ghosty. Maybe I should, but I don't. So, Davidovich Fokina here serving 3-5. Remember all my predictions today. Okay, Davidovich Fokina here serving. Serves down the tee, but misses. So my predictions were Sabalenka to win. She won. Gibson to win. She won. Zverev to win. He won. Feast to win. He won. Lerner Tien to win. And he's got 3 match points. Lerner Tien, 3 match points for a spot in the quarterfinals where he will play the winner, or would play if he gets one of these next 3 points, the winner of João Fonseca or Yannick Sinner. But will he win one of the next 3 points? Well, the first 2 are going to be on his serve. For Lerner Tien, can he back up his Aussie Open quarterfinal with a quarterfinal at Indian Wells? Let's see. Where are you going to go with his serve? You're going down the tee, but it's going to clip the net. Oh, adding to the tension. 2 hours and 7 minutes on the clock. Davidovich Fokina never won a title. Lerner Tien has. Out wide, backhand return. What a return that is. Oh, and the forehand's going to go into the net. 6-4. Woo. Do hit that like button, by the way. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe and watch that number here tick over. Okay, second match point. What a great return that was from Davidovich Fokina, by the way. Anyway, 6-4. Tien serves down the tee. Backhand return. Forehand from Lerner. Now into the backhand of Davidovich Fokina. Forehand into the backhand of Davidovich Fokina. Davidovich Fokina on the slice. What are you doing, Alejandro? Lerner Tien prevails. 4-6, 6-1, 7-6. Jane's heart is breaking as an Alejandro fan. I am enjoying the emojis from Ghosty to some extent as he's rubbing salt into Jane's wounds right now. We see a delighted Michael Chang, the coach of Lerner Tien. Mariano Puerta, by the way, the coach of Davidovich Fokina, his advice at the end of the second set was for basically Davidovich Fokina to give up on the final game so he could serve first in the next set. Well, that didn't help his charge in the end. I think Lerner deserved it. I mean, he ran away with that second set. The first set was 50-50. But, yeah, Davidovich Fokina waves to the crowd. He's not going to be ending his title drought at Indian Wells. And it's Lerner Tien into the quarterfinals where he'll face João Fonseca or Yannick Sinner, which will be coming up starting in around about an hour from now. But once again, Lerner Tien, clutch. Saved 2 match points. They were on his serve at 4-5, but he saved those 2 match points, A, with some good serving, and B, Davidovich Fokina decided to do a net rush and couldn't make the volley. Honestly, I don't dislike the tactic from Davidovich Fokina. It was brave. But Lerner Tien was brave in that rally because he was painting lines. He was going deep. He was pushing Alejandro around. And Lerner signs the camera. And I'm going to let you know what he says in a moment. I love this place, he says. Well, I love it. Indeed, he does. Reaching his first quarterfinal. I'm going to deliver you some stats now from this encounter. Overall performance rating, Lerner Tien 7.8, Davidovich Fokina 7.5. Yeah, I don't think it was the highest of quality matches from either player. First serve in Lerner, 61%, but first serve points won, 72%. Let's not forget, I think the serve is an underrated part of his game, but how long is it before we keep saying underrated that it becomes rated? Not long as far as I'm concerned. Remember that 49-second service game that Lerner had to serve out that second set. Of course, we did end up getting a bit of a clue as to why that was a 49-second hold, because maybe Davidovich Fokina just let this thing go, as Ben Rothenberg, his highlights on Twitter, that let this game go. We'll start the third set serving, says Mariano Puerta, the coach of that Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Tien held serve in 49 seconds. It's normal coaching, but if anyone could have placed a bet in that instant, well, indeed, yeah. I wonder if there'll be any repercussions from that. Might be. at the net today, 11 from 19, Davidovich Fokina. That's disappointing. Very disappointing from Davidovich Fokina. Of course, the biggest one of those 8 points lost at the net came on match point as he needed a net rush and couldn't land the backhand volley back in the court. It was another great example of the Lerner Tien cross-court pass, which he pulled off a few times today. And that's that. So Lerner Tien is into the next round. As I said, though, I would be looking at the men's draw. And here it is. Yeah, 11 from 19 is Ghosty highlights. And of course, the biggest one there was on match point. Okay, let's look forward now to some of the draw, which we can already see on our screens. Lerner Tien is in this mini section as well. But the match I want to look forward to is Artur Fils against Alexander Zverev. Their head-to-head reads as follows. (4-2) in favor of Zverev. The world number 4 are coming up against the world number 32. These are obviously pre-Indian Wells rankings. Zverev has been in the quarterfinals at Indian Wells before, but never the semifinals. Artur Fils has been in the quarterfinals at Indian Wells before, but never the semifinals. So something has to give in this matchup. If we have a quick look at their previous encounters, by the way, so these 6 matches on the main tour, the 28-year-old German winning their most recent encounter on the clay in Rome. It was a straight sets win as well last year. They also played, though, on the hard courts of Miami, and that was a 3-set win for Fils. Prior to that, Zverev won in 3 sets indoors in Paris. And who could forget that Hamburg final that Artur Fils won in one of the matches of the year in 2024. In fact, it was made our matches of the year list, didn't it, in 2024? It was a really controversial occasion. There was a bit of needle between the two players, some fun moments and some tense moments as well. But ultimately, it was Fils who prevailed. It was probably just the tie break that let that match down. Otherwise, it might have made an even higher spot in our matches of the year. The first 2 matches, Zverev won also in Hamburg in 2023 and also in Halle on the grass in 2024. That is what's really aided and abetted Zverev's 4-2 advantage, because of the last 4 meetings, they've been split evenly, 2 each. That match in Hamburg, by the way, the backhand of Zverev was unusually off at times in that match. I say unusually because I think he's got one of the best backhands in the world. And of course, Fils today was able to take advantage of the backhand advantage he had over Felix. He won't be able to do the same against Zverev. That is for sure. Because Zverev is top 5 in the world, maybe top 3 or top even 2, something like that in terms of his backhand, maybe on his day even top 1. I think Djokovic and Sinner and to some extent Alcaraz would have something to say about that. But yeah, Artur Fils, though, against Felix today was able to do those backhand exchanges. We saw at one point that I think it was backhand errors from Felix was 6 to Fis's 2. And so you knew that dynamic was very much in Artur's favor. I also think in terms of athleticism and speed, Artur is just a couple of % ahead of Felix. Felix is elite, by the way, top 10 in the world, both in terms of his ranking, but also where he's at in terms of his movement. But I think Fils is top 5, despite his ranking of 32. Of course, that ranking of Artur's at 32 is heavily impacted by the length of time he had last year off the tour through injury, that back injury, which I thought might take Fils maybe even 6 months to ease himself back on the tour. Back injuries, you've got to be so careful with. And yet here we are. Fils has been in an ATP 500 final, and now he's in the Indian Wells quarterfinal just a few weeks after his return to the tour. But will it be enough to beat Zverev? Well, let's have a quick look at Zverev's path to the quarterfinals in Indian Wells. He beat Berrettini in his first match. It was a comfortable win, 6-3, 6-4. Berrettini really never got into that one. Nakashima, now that was much more difficult to Zverev, exchanging the first 2 sets before Zverev now won the 3rd set 6-4. But it was, again, a much more comfortable win for Zverev to get today over Tiafoe, extending his head-to-head advantage over Francis to 9-1. Francis never really got a look in, either on the Zverev serve or in that as a whole, and it was an equally comfortable win for Zverev in the round of 16 today as it was in the first match he had against Berrettini. As for Artur Fils, by the way, his route to this stage has seen him win, well, as I said, straight sets over Felix today, but prior to that, there were wins over Prismic and Fucsovics, also in straight sets, so he's reached this stage without dropping a set. The win he had over Felix today, by the way, is a bit more to add to that, in that Fils did win that first set comfortably and was up a break in the second. He was leading 6-3, 4-3 with a break, 2 service holds away. But once Felix broke, you thought, oh, I think we're going 3 here, because the momentum was very much with Felix, and none more so when he had, I'm going to say 5 set points, but it could have been 4 in that tie break. Fils had a couple of match points, so he got it done on the second match point, mishitting a forehand on the first. But Felix's forehand also let himself down a little bit in that tie break. But it did feel like Fils was just marginally the better player in all the departments, with maybe the exception of the serve. And ultimately, he prevailed. As I say, Fils has been in the quarterfinals in Indian Wells before, last year, when he lost to Medvedev in a third set tie break. Who can forget Medi's incredible celebration? Last year, his passage to the quarterfinals was a bit more rough and ready, and a bit more of a roller coaster. He had 3-set wins over Musetti and Giron before finally going down in 3 sets to Medvedev, that third set tiebreak, as I highlighted. As for Zverev at Indian Wells, his story is, of course, a much longer one, because he's been on the tour for the best part of a decade. I don't know if Artur Fils played here in 2024. Yes, he did. Got to the round of 32. But he enjoys these slow, hardcore conditions, I think, more than Zverev does, in terms of the fact that Zverev has been on the tour for 10 years and never been in a semi-final at Indian Wells. Artur Fils has been on the tour for 2 years and already been in the round of 32 and a quarterfinal. So he's equaled Zverev's best run just by being on the tour for despite being on the tour side for a much shorter period of time. Zverev, by the way, in 2025, he lost in the first round, or his first match, to Griekspoor. 2024 is when he made his best run, getting to the quarters before going down 3-1 to Alcaraz. That was the B match, if you remember that one. 2023, he lost in the 16 to Zverev. I think to Medvedev, which I think at the time was a common situation. 2022, lost in his first match to Tommy Paul in 3 sets. 2021, which really was a chance for Zverev. That was the one really for Zverev, because 2021, don't forget, was a tournament where we had no Federer, no Djokovic, no Nadal, and we also had no Sinner or Alcaraz in terms of where they're at now. Alcaraz, I don't think, was even on the tour then. And if he was, it was very much in its infancy. Actually, I think he was on the tour, but yeah, very much in its infancy. And Sinner, in a similar manner, Sinner was a bit further down his path. But that was the year, and he only got to the court. I say only got to the quarterfinals. It's still obviously very impressive. But that year, he lost to Taylor Fritz in 2021, who, of course, a year later would go on to win the title. So, yeah, and in 2019, Zverev lost in his second match to Struff there. So an early exit in 2019. 2018, he lost in his opening match to the Portuguese João Sousa. 2017, lost in his second match there, beat Magnus in the round of 64. He was already seeded, by the way, in 2017, but lost to Nick Kyrgios in his second match. And in 2016, he played as well and made the round of 16 before losing to Rafa Nadal. So this is his 10-year anniversary. And I just see a WhatsApp here from Vanch, which I think would be probably celebratory for Lerner Tien. That's funny. Okay. Artur Fils, prediction time for this encounter with Alexander Zverev. It's really tough to call. If Fils can hold his nerve and his serve, he will prevail in 3 sets. Thanks for joining. And now, here is that video that I promised I'd play you earlier in its entirety. And see you, by the way, for Jannik Sinner against João Fonseca, and Linda Noskova against Alex Ayala, and Victoria Mboko against Amanda Anisimova. So please join us for all of those matches and enjoy this. There are many aspects to living in a foreign country. Ordering a coffee at the local coffee shop, finding a local pub to spend your time in at weekends, for example, making new friends, and of course, finding a good supermarket. The Remo 1000, much better than the Remo 900. Supermarkets all around the world have fruit and veg sections, and Danish supermarkets are no different. As we can see here, we have some wonderful bananas, European Union regulated obviously, and interestingly though, in Denmark we don't actually weigh the fruit and veg like we would do in many other European countries, and we just simply go straight to the checkout and they weigh it there for us. Also, of course, a part of the experience is trying to find the right apple. I've been here already 20 minutes looking for Granny Smith apples, but I couldn't find any, so this will have to do. But let me tell you this, Danish fruit and veg is some of the best fruit and veg in the world. Put it in the bag and into the basket. Also, one of the most confusing aspects for shopping in a foreign country is knowing the price of things, and in particular if there are discounts on offer. As you'll see from this packet of meat here, it's very difficult to know exactly how much it is. But if you turn it around, ta-da! 15 kroner. Oh, hi there. You just caught me in the wine section after speaking to a lovely Danish guy who pointed me in the right direction. And I'm here looking for some wonderful traditional Danish wine, and I've got this wonderful bottle here from Jutland, which is the region of Denmark that we're currently in the north of Denmark. This local vintage from 1875, which seems pretty old to me. But to be fair, the Danes are also very well known for their beer consumption, and here we have a nice traditional Danish beer. As I said to you, the Danes are very well known for drinking beer. In fact, the average Danish woman will drink up to 21 cans of this per day. Where the hell is the saffron whenever you need it? This has to be the most annoying, frustrating element to shopping in a foreign country. When you're looking for that one ingredient, that one herbal spice that'll just change your dish from being average to amazing. And when you're in a foreign country, I have spent hours looking for fennel seeds or saffron or oregano. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Do you have any saffron?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh wow, in Denmark it's not so expensive after all. Okay, stream over. Bye bye. See you for Jannik Sinner against Jannik Sinner against João Fonseca. Also Victoria Mboko against Amanda Anisimova. And also Alex Ayala against Linda Noskova. Oh, and you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.